Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everybody's doing good today. We have Haley, Edits, Samuel, Chip, William, Mary. Let's see, Jim, Storm Chaser, Indiana Legacy, Lakeisha. Glad to have you guys all in here. Lucky as well as Sam, Caleb. Glad to see you guys all in here for another live stream on the channel. JD. And Grayson as well. Glad to see you guys all in here. Hopefully you guys have had a great day so far. Hopefully I can make it at least a little bit better. So let's go ahead and dive right on into this. We are going to switch to our main scene. Lord have mercy, it's probably screwed up. Oh, stupid date. It's correct, but it's not fixed properly. So every scene we switch to, I'm going to have to fix that. But oh well, we'll bear with it, you know. What can you do? So yeah, today we're talking about the severe weather potential. We'll just start with the severe weather, and then we'll dive on into the tropical weather. So just briefly talk about the severe weather. So for today, we've got a slight risk for severe weather out here in the mid-Atlantic region, eastern Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, portions of Pennsylvania under a severe thunderstorm watch. This is a very conditional severe thunderstorm threat. This is actually tornado possible, shockingly. I think that's the first tornado possible of the day. We did have a tornado warning earlier today, but I mean, I saw it. They warned it for like 30 minutes and they canceled it like 2 to 3 minutes after they warned it. So that means, you know, rotation was very, very brief. So brief that by the time they warned it, it was already dying out. So that's our main severe. I believe we're watching out here at Lawrenceville, Virginia. Make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows, close to your safe spot, just in case this gets warned. If it is rotating, it's on the northern side towards Lawrenceville. But I personally don't see it rotating much at all. Virginia Beach, your threat will be later on today. You're safe from tornadic activity. We're not expecting any tornadoes today, but from rain, you're probably going to get some about 8, 9 p.m. tonight. Then we have a marginal risk that extends all the way from New York all the way back down here towards South Carolina, and actually a slight risk out here in Florida as well, which I did not see. I think I saw it, but didn't acknowledge it. So there's your slight risk in Florida as well. If you don't know what a slight is, it's a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. This particular slight risk is for both wind and hail. There's no tornado threat anywhere in the U.S. today at the moment. Hopefully we'll stay that way. And then our other thunderstorms are firing up in the slight risk area out here in Texas. Slight risk also goes into Oklahoma. These are considerable for wind. All 3 of them are considerable for 70-mile-an-hour winds. So quite the wind issue there. Just make sure you're indoors, away from doors and windows out there east of Amarillo, Texas, as those storms roll through. So there you go with that. Tomorrow we have a bit more of a notable threat. Unfortunately, can't cover this. We are expecting the potential for at least one tornado tomorrow, and the main threat should be, in my opinion, hail. Which it's weird that they don't have a 15 hatched out because I see that being the biggest issue. But we'll see if they upgrade that. At the moment, it's 5%. So according to the SBC, the biggest issue tomorrow is wind. Personally, I think it's going to be hail, but wind should be just as far up there in the threat. And we could definitely see a tornado tomorrow. The only question is the temperature dew point spread. If we have about a 5 to 12 temperature dew point spread, the tornado threat should be decently up there, honestly. Maybe even a conditional strong tornado tomorrow around the Kearney, Nebraska area, south of Grand Isle. So we'll keep an eye on that. But hopefully we'll just be dealing with some small hail tomorrow, and that's about it. So just make sure you're staying weather aware out there. Like I said, can't cover that. Then day 3, we got a marginal. I haven't looked at this. I hope it's not anything. I'll quickly just go check on my least favorite model run. Looks like a wind threat for Saturday. And probably a late threat according to this model run at the moment. So we'll just monitor that and keep an eye on it. And I'll let y'all know if anything changes with that. Then for the day 4 through 8 outlook, last time I checked, we have nothing. And yeah, we don't have, we have absolutely nothing there. So yeah, let me go ahead and unmute on Discord because we are joined by Lucky, who also just happened to unmute at the same time I did. Hello.
I was trying to get your attention, like by doing, and then I'm muting at the end of that. Like I was just like, I
What?
don't know if you had me unmuted or not.
I think I forgot you or something.
Yeah,
No, I didn't. You are muted on
I,
stream.
I don't know if you already like was seeing if I was here, but because I was downstairs.
Oh. Nope, that's the first time I checked.
Okay.
All right, so Lucky's here. He's just gonna be sleeping in the background, I think. Not sure. We'll just check with him every couple hours or so. Are you trying to get your camera to work? Oh, he's gone. Lucky, are you okay?
No.
Do I need to come down there?
No.
What? Oh my word. Man.
Work.
I'm gonna mute him until he gets that working. So our strongest storm area, Virginia. They're well west of Virginia Beach here. They should be on a weakening trend. You can already tell they are. I mean, honestly, I don't even know why they went slight for today. I'm very surprised by that, but I mean, they did. But we'll just continue to keep an eye on it, just in case something does happen. Like I said, conditional severe threat. So typically you don't see a slight risk for a conditional severe threat. But yeah, these storms should die out fast, honestly. By the time they get to Norfolk and the coastline, it should be relatively dying out. Man, your green screen is not the best. Dude, I should show stream that. Tell me when you're ready if you want me to show stream you. I'll unmute you. But yeah, you're unmuted, by the way. Let's go ahead and switch to our tropics now because that's the main story. We'll start with the National Hurricane Center, and as the description says, the National Hurricane Center has not highlighted anything at the moment. You could see that tropical activity is not expected, so we're not expecting tropical activity over the next 7 days here. We'll switch that to 7 days. So no area of interest at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 10 to 20%. I don't think this is going to form into a storm or hurricane. It might push a depression, but a depression is the high end I see this system being. And let's just switch to the GFS. Actually, I want to do we'll do the deterministic model run. So take this with a grain of salt. It's just the deterministic model run. This is the 12Z. We are getting the 18Z in, and we're going to keep an eye on really two areas here. We're keeping an eye on the current tropical wave, which is, I believe, denoted by analysis. I don't know if they have designated it a tropical wave or not, but we have an area to keep an eye on out here in the main development region, and an area to keep an eye out in the Gulf. What should or the Caribbean? What should happen here is we should get this area to move into the Caribbean and hit that system in the Gulf, which should move it into the Gulf of Mexico here as we go towards the latter half of very late this week, most likely early next week is really going to be the time frame, early next week here. You'll see that, watch this low pressure. It moves up to the northwest, goes towards Puerto Rico, hits our system in the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and then starts to go right on into this particular model run, Texas, which I do think it's if we're going to have landfall impacts, it's either going to be the southern tip of Florida or the very coastal areas of Texas if we're going to have any type of impacts. But that's way too far out to talk about. We're in Fantasyland on the GFS. And then just for the fun of it, the GFS shows another tropical system just because it feels like it. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's definitely possible we see a tropical spin-up activity here, but we shouldn't see like a hurricane or anything like that, which I'll go ahead and show you guys the ensembles. The ensembles are really starting to hint towards tropical development now. So this is your, I believe, yes, GEFS ensemble model runs. And you'll see here June 13th, June 12th, they really start to get a hotspot out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Two different areas, according to the ensembles. I don't think we'll see two systems back to back, like, you know, on the 14th and then immediately on the 15th as well. But I do think we'll have another one. You could see a big hot spot towards the 20th as we were anticipating about 3-4 days ago. Model runs, I said, would probably start to pick up on that, and they have. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. I think the one towards the 20th could be a little bit more notable. But first, we got to get through this first one. And the impact should be very minimal. I mean, the highest impact we're talking about is localized flash flooding. We're not talking about anything too over the top by any means. But I do believe at least somebody's going to see rain out of this system. Again, what we're looking for is a system out here in the main development region and a system in the Caribbean to eventually merge into one storm and then go towards the Gulf of Mexico. Multiple model runs have picked up on this, which is why I finally decided to make a live stream just about the tropics, or really focused around the tropics, because model runs are actually really picking it up on now. It's not just, you know, the GFS ensembles or the GFS deterministic runs. It's also the European and other models too. So we'll be keeping a really, really close eye on it as it moves towards most likely somewhere along the Gulf coastline. So this system should just be kind of a friendly reminder that you need to have your tropical preparedness plan in place if you live on the immediate coastlines or, you know, anywhere along the Gulf states. Just to, you know, it's kind of a get ready because hurricane season's starting. So just make sure that you have that preparation plan in place if you live anywhere from, you know, Florida up towards Texas. Typically, the area we see tropical activity the most in terms of impacts is right along this area here. You know, the coastline regions. I don't know if I'd say as far up towards, like, you know, Dallas and whatnot, but definitely the closer you are to the Gulf, the higher chance you have for tropical impacts this season. So just make sure you know where your evacuation routes are, especially if you live in an area that typically sees hurricanes like the entire peninsula of Florida. So again, there's our ensemble model runs, and I haven't checked this one yet. I'm curious to see if it shows it. So this is going to be a reaction here because I have not seen it. The GEPS, whatever the heck that is. What in the... Wow. Holy crap. Wow. That is a very strong signal. Gracious day. I was not expecting that. I thought, if anything, it'd be way weaker. Whoa. So does that show like a local flood threat or something, potentially? I mean, I don't see anything. There's not like a clear area of purple that shows a tropical system. Oh, and then it shows the second one too towards June 20th. Hold on a minute. Yeah, look at that. There's the second one too. So it shows two very notable tropical systems, which is weird. Is a European on board with this? I would say definitely not. Okay, it looks more like the GFS ensembles for the first system, kind of iffy on if we're actually going to see a tropical storm. But then the European, it really, really picks up that one towards the 20th. This is very far out. So, I mean, I literally just started looking at the second one today. I didn't even know that was a potential concern there. So it seems like that second one's going to have some better chances, but it's so far out that it could just poof disappear off the models tomorrow. So we don't want to be looking at that as if it's going to occur here. But I'm very impressed with the GEPS ensembles there, showing quite the signal. I mean, that is not a signal you see every day this early in the season. Now it is hurricane season, so it's not like too over the top. That is pretty impressive in my opinion. That is pretty impressive. That signal just about 200 hours out. I mean, it's strong on that signal, not but about 100 hours out. So this is 108. Yeah, 108 hours out, and it's got a very tight group of members out there in the oh my word, I don't know what this bay is. Lord have mercy, it's been a long time. Southern Caribbean. We'll call it that. We'll call it that. Another thing I haven't looked at is the individual spaghetti models, as we like to call them, on the deterministic model runs, as well as, more importantly, the ensembles. Let's see here. So let me go ahead and pull this up. I haven't looked at this much either. So we're gonna zoom in, and we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna go all the way 336 hours out and see. Well, definitely shows it on the southern side, which I think is, possible. Now, what, Lucky?
I was looking at that.
You
Looking
were.
on your stream. Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows it a tight group on the southern side, and I want to see, is that from the first system? So let's go 200 hours out. It is from the first system. So it looks like there's model uncertainty on if we're going to see it develop towards this portion of the Caribbean or this portion of the Caribbean. I would say it's most likely for this one here, as that moves up to the northeast there. But even then, it's going to be weak. I mean, I'd be surprised if we see a depression out of this. So it's nothing to get worried about by any means. But you definitely want to keep an eye on it. Like I said, it's just a reminder that it's tropical season, so pay attention, because it could be interesting at any point in the near future. So, yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it. Let's go for that second system now, see what it shows. Just more potential development in the Gulf. I think this is the European, I believe, which the European is a lot more, let's see, how do I put this? Yeah, like no signal at all, but still some low pressures, some low pressures, spinning out there in the Gulf and the Caribbean, but we'll see. And then, of course, like I said, we have the single deterministic GFS model run here, which I need to go to the, North
Yeah, dude.
American? Yeah.
You want to show them me before I have to go?
Oh, yeah. Why?
Well, just want to say hey.
You do?
I do want to say hey.
You want to say hi to stream?
Yeah, I want to say hi to stream.
All right. Let me switch y'all to the severe warning, and I didn't fix that threat level, so thanks for the reminder, Lucky. We'll just flop that to
Welcome.
level 2 there. I didn't expect to use this anyways. Hold on a minute. Okay, there we go. You ready, Lucky?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. I honestly, I don't know what this is gonna show. Let me just make sure I have nothing else pulled up for this to show anything copyrighted. It shows up nothing.
So we're good.
Not really, because it doesn't even show you.
No. That no good.
Well. Hey, there he is! I don't know what that was all about, but there you are, Lucky. Say hi.
What up, chat?
I think you're
How
frozen.
is everybody? Really?
Yeah, you're very frozen.
Better?
Wait, what if I do... Okay, so I can't minimize Discord. I gotta do it over it. Got it. So yeah, you're good.
What up, chat? What
Hang
up?
on.
What up? What up? What up?
There's that guy.
That guy is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, TRG,
that
that
annoying
scene
guy
is
right
true
there.
though. There is a severe.
Well, yeah, of course there is. All
Well, I
right,
mean, yeah.
there you go. You want me to just keep you up there forever?
Uh,
I'll
I mean,
just,
I'm about to leave, so
I'll just keep him up there forever.
forever.
Hmm.
So y'all gonna. So if I go on mute or TRG mutes me or whatever, y'all just gonna like hear me
I'll
say yo.
just
They're
see
not
him
gonna. They're not gonna
talk.
hear me.
Man,
They're
that'd be
just gonna
fun.
see me. You're gonna see me yell, yo,
All right, I'll just take you off then.
right now.
Bye. All right, just scream at me when you have something, or
Ah,
I don't know. Okay, bye. Good night.
good night.
All right, y'all. So yeah, we're still talking about the tropics. Duh. Little interruption there from Lucky. So the 18Z ensembles are now rolling through, which is good news. Maybe we'll have to start doing our live streams at 6 p.m. as opposed to 5:50 like we normally do, just because the ensembles come through a little bit later. But this is going to be newer information, but just a heads up, the 12Z, 00Z, GFS, and ensembles are always more accurate than the 12Z and the 06Z. Or no, the 06Z and 18Z are the most inaccurate models. The 12Z and the 00Z are the most accurate. So every 12 hours, you get a more accurate model run. So the 18Z won't be most likely as accurate as the 12Z here. So, yeah, there's the 12Z model run once again. And this is the ensemble, so we don't like to use just normal deterministic model runs. We'll use them every once in a while just to see what they're saying, but yeah, you don't want to use them to make any type of judgment calls or whatnot. But I'll just show you the list here. So there's all your models. You see the Z time. See how we are getting the 18Z, 12Z, 18Z, and 12Z. So we have the 12Z, 18Z's rendering. So skip one. So if we just start at the bottom, this one's going to be more accurate than this one. This one will be more accurate than this one. This one will be more accurate than this one. So you always want to use 00Z, 12Z. Those are the more accurate models. You may be saying why? It's because we send up, or I shouldn't say we, I should say the National Weather Service. They send up weather balloons across the country, somewhere around the realms of like, I don't know how many, probably 30 or so, every 12 hours. So we get more accurate data on the 12Z and the 00Z model runs as opposed to the 18Z and the 06Z models, which is why the most accurate model run is typically actually the 01Z HRRR. Depending on, if you have an active severe weather event, the 01Z HRRR is actually going to be pretty accurate as opposed to the 00Z HRRR. And then, if you're looking 48 hours out, your 00Z HRRR is going to be more accurate. So now you guys get a look at how confusing weather is. You guys probably, half of y'all probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's perfectly fine. Just know there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's not like I just come on here and pretend that stuff might happen. So, yeah, another thing to really take note is the high confidence and the high pressure out here. And see how that moves more east. So currently it's out here towards, Lord have mercy. I forgot the name of this area again. But it's in the central Atlantic. That's where your high pressure currently is located. And as we go towards mid to into late June, look at how that moves more to the northeast. So what that's going to allow for is if we have a high pressure out in this area, that's going to act as a blocking right in this area. So what that should do, if we have a good enough favorability pattern out here in the U.S., it should draw the hurricane potential and the tropical waves right into the Gulf and then back out to sea. So that's what we were talking about this hurricane season and our hurricane forecast, with probably more more notable and more often landfalls in the U.S. as opposed to the 2022 and 2023 hurricane season. But we'll see. You know, that's really something you have to determine. Like currently, it's hard to determine those steering currents weeks out in advance. So we don't want to look at that and take it as if it's going to happen. But that is why we're using the ensembles, because they're more accurate than just a singular model run. Let's see here. I wanted to quickly check on the La Nina. Yeah, so we're still right around that neutral phase. We're not going rapidly into a La Nina, which we were anticipating to be in a La Nina in about August, late July into August is what the I think NOAA was forecasting. August, September, October to be in a La Nina. So we're gonna have to see some rapid cooling of those temperatures out there in the Eastern Pacific. But yeah, in terms of impacts, so if we manage to actually see like a tropical storm or a tropical depression form, which again I'm not anticipating, I am anticipating a tropical wave in a tropical system, but not a tropical storm. But if we were to see that, you could see the hot spot for rainfall would be right along the east coastline, most likely, as the second tropical system towards like June 18th ish, according to the ensembles, would track right on up the east coast here. So there's really two main areas to watch in terms of impacts. That's the eastern portion of the U.S., kind of the southeast portion, and as well as like Texas, Louisiana, because there's model uncertainties on if this is going to go right towards Texas or if it's going to go up towards the East Coast. But again, either way, it should not be a tropical storm. The only chance we have is like a tropical depression to be out there. And I wouldn't anticipate that by any means. So, like I said, it's nothing to be worried about. It's just something that is a reminder that we're in hurricane season. So you want to be keeping an eye out there for tropical systems. Let's go back to our deterministic GFS model runs. So this is the 18Z that is still rendering. I want to see if it has what it has here. So compare that to the 12. Is this the 12Z? What's the 12Z? Yes, this is the 12Z, even though it doesn't say it. So this is the 12Z. This is 18Z, 12Z, 18Z. This is still switching on me. Okay, so this is the 18Z at frame 150. This is the 12Z at frame 150. So it's relatively the same. There's not too much of a change. You still see your tropical wave there on the 18Z and, of course, the older 12Z model run. So now we're just going to see if both of those low pressures combine into one, or if there's a bit of a slower trend here. So on this particular frame, 156, you've got tropical wave number 1 and tropical wave number 2 up here. And like I said, we should see those combine into one and then track somewhere in the Gulf. The other Model 1, 12Z, had it going right towards Texas, but some others have it going up the East Coast. And that's just going to determine off of our steering pattern, which let's look at that actually. Let's see what we have here. Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Looks like we have a trough digging into the U.S. and a high pressure probably trying to build out to the west. Let's see. I wish we had the 500 millibar wind speeds. That would be way more accurate. How far out are we? 144 frames. Okay, let me go all the way out. Yep, that is exactly what we're having. So that trough would probably, depending on, man, that is what's gonna bring your uncertainty, because that trough could pull the tropical system up as it digs into the U.S. It could get a hold of the tropical system and then just pull it right out to sea with very minimal impacts. Or if that trough hurries up out of there, and I don't know what the 12Z showed, but let me just look at that on my other monitor here. So what the 12Z had is it had a wow, it had a breaking high pressure. So you had a low pressure here, a weakening high pressure here that was falling apart, and then a much stronger high pressure well off the screen up there towards Washington State. So doesn't look like these models are too different from each other right off the start. Again, here's the 18Z, here's the 12Z. Barely any of a difference. So 12Z, 18Z, not much of a difference. And plus, these are on different frames, so I wish it would just go to the right frame. So this is frame 156 on the 18Z, and then here's frame, geez, that went way too far out, 156 on the 12Z. So not much of a change. We'll just keep an eye on it. And let me go ahead and show you guys the Climate Prediction Center now, which are, of course, this is an official outlook from the Climate Prediction Center here. And the severe weather this year, or not this year, my goodness, that would be great. But the severe weather this week should be relatively on the tamer side in terms of the tornado side of things. I think Lucky just tried to say something. Did you say something?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Good morning.
I'm still talking about tropics. I was moving on to the CPC. What are your thoughts
All
on
right.
the tropical system?
I just started, buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a solid 10 minutes then.
All right.
All right, you have fun with that.
Will do. Tell me if you got anything.
Don't think I will. So here's the Climate Prediction Center outlook here. And like I was talking about, June 19th through the 25th, see how this red area of interest, at the moment, this is for the 12th. So this is borderline right when we're anticipating the potential for a tropical system. They have, you can see it, it's above average precipitation right near Florida. And then you also have the above average chance, which I shouldn't say above average, I should say the potential for a tropical cyclone around the realms of 20%. It's not above average because we're hurricane season. So above average rainfall, yes. Above average chance for a tropical system, no. They're just highlighting and saying the potential for a tropical cyclone to form between the June 12th and June 18th timeframe is possible. And then from June 19th through the 25th, they have that a little bit larger, as well as a little bit larger of an above average area for rainfall. So I mean, it's not like these systems can just stay in the Gulf and then I don't know, go backwards towards the Atlantic. Once a system enters the Caribbean and the Gulf, there's really only one place for that to go, and that's to impact the U.S. Or depending on the steering currents, it could go towards the southern tip of Florida, Cuba, Mexico. But once it goes into the Gulf, the only place it can go is to impact land. I guess if you're like the luckiest person alive, I suppose a tropical system could go up the Caribbean Sea and then somehow manage to dodge all the Bahamas and Florida. But I don't know if that's ever happened before where we have a tropical system enter the Gulf and it not impact land. I feel like that would be quite the rare sight to see, if not near impossible. And then we also have the precipitation outlooks, which I'm going to zoom out so y'all can see that. So below average, again, severe weather. So severe weather for the next 2 weeks or so. It should not be widespread. What we should have is sneaky severe weather. So we're not going to be able to determine the magnitude of a severe threat until either the day before or the day of the threat. So we shouldn't be, seeing these threats 4 to 8 days out like we normally are. They should be very micro and mesoscale features. As well as barely even notable on the model runs. So we should barely be able to see them. They're probably going to be embedded inside a shortwave trough or a more elongated trough ejection with multiple shortwaves. So regardless, predictability is going to be very low for us to see really anything at all. So it's difficult to talk about the severe weather side of things beyond like day 2. And then here's your outlook for 8 to 14 days, June 14th to the 20th. And you'll notice, do you see it? Look what sneaks in there. On both of these outlooks, you have an above average area of precipitation in the southeastern portion of the U.S. So for the 6 to 10, you see it out there in Florida, along the Carolina coastlines, Georgia. And then for the 8 to 14 day outlook, that expands more to the southwest towards the Texas Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, back up towards Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina as well. Then the week 3 to 4 outlook, which I feel like this might be interfering with some other pattern, not just uh, tropical activity, but they do have above average precip for the deep south. And then, of course, our tropical, or I should say more of our hurricane season outlook here, they have an above average chance for precipitation in the southeastern portion of the U.S. No shocker there. I think our hurricane season's really going to kick off towards late July. That's when I'm expecting it to like really kick off, when we should have our first potential for a named storm to occur. I mean, I see like late June, we're going to have a potential for maybe another tropical wave, but it's so far out that I don't want to say anything like a tropical depression potential or whatnot. Also, the precipitation outlook, they have already highlighted an area of heavy precipitation out there from the 14th to the 15th in Florida. I'm pretty sure that is for your tropical system, which this is debatable. The only reason why I say that is because it's a bit weird for the steering pattern. The tropical system's either going to hit Florida or it should go towards Texas. You never know. Maybe it will head towards Louisiana, but I mean, it looks like a solid opportunity for a tropical system here. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. This has been on the model runs for so long. We've been making fun of it for over a week now, and it is still on the model runs. So 3 days ago, I mentioned it to you guys in a video, and now, like I said, I wanted to talk about it in a live stream. Well, I was going to do a video, but y'all voted for a live stream, so live stream. But yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it. Definitely something to watch for sure. For those of you in the central U.S., if you like really, really hot temperatures, have fun with that. 14th through the 16th, excessive heat risk is already out from the Climate Prediction Center, so have fun. Have fun. Let me go see if any of these look interesting. That one towards Palm Bay may be a little bit on the stronger side. Back up here, west of Virginia Beach. These just don't look
Boo.
impressive at all. What do you want?
That get you at all.
No.
Okay. Well, you want to hear my thoughts on the tropical wave?
Sure.
I definitely think that it has a very good chance of happening. I definitely think. I think you said, if I'm not mistaken, you said it probably won't get past what, a depression or a storm
I mean, that's what I think will be possible.
would be possible. Okay, so you don't have
Is
it passing a storm.
lower than a depression is what I think is a possibility.
Okay.
Like I said, we're mainly just rain. I think that will be the only impact we talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I think it would be like, if anything, like a depression. That's the max. A depression.
You think it's gonna happen?
I think so. It might. It
You
might.
expect an AOI?
Do I expect one in the next coming days? Probably. That's just what I think.
I will note this for you. Keep in mind the 12Z is more accurate, but the 18Z does not have a definitive tropical cyclone anymore. So, I mean, you can
Yeah.
still see the tropical wave clear as day, and that's what I'm expecting is rain. Literally rain.
Yeah. I think they're gonna do an AOI, but I don't think it's gonna, like, have enough. I guess I can't really say enough water time, because I mean it goes through the whole Gulf, but
Wind shear.
wind shear. Yeah,
I haven't
wind
looked at
shear.
dry air, actually.
Dry air is, I think
Lord
it's
have
gonna be on the
mercy,
other
I've
side.
forgotten how to look at dry air.
It's on the southern side. Yep, wraps around the whole system.
How do you look at dry air again?
Uh,
Oh, precipitation
precip
moisture.
moisture
Stupid
and
me.
700 to 300 millibar relative humidity. You can see it
Oh,
wraps around the system,
well, that's
wraps
already a
around the
major change.
southern, wraps around the southern side of it.
18Z has a high pressure building in over North Carolina, Virginia. Of course, we're always the sore losers out here.
Of course.
Dude, that is a very strong high pressure too. So
Yeah.
I think on this new model run, 18Z, we're probably going to see a bit of rain go towards Texas. The CPC seemed to think Florida for it, which is honestly interesting. What's today? What day is it, Lucky?
The 6th.
What day?
Thursday.
Thank you. So that would be hmm. So does it have it on June 13th at all?
What?
Nah, yeah, it has it towards like the Yucatan.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the Weather Prediction Center and they don't have it forecasted at the moment. Ooh, shocker. But they
Shocker.
see that's the thing. Behind this low pressure, we're gonna have a high pressure that builds in, so it's going to depend on this upcoming low pressure for the U.S., which may cause severe weather. But like I said, we can't really determine that till 2 days out because we're looking at mesoscale and micro features. But it's all going to depend on what that low pressure towards like the 10th does and how fast that leaves the U.S. Because if that low pressure leaves faster, then the high pressure will leave faster. If the low pressure lingers longer, the high pressure will linger longer, resulting in the tropical system just chilling out there in the Caribbean.
Yeah. You are completely right about that.
So, personally, I believe we're going to see a tropical wave. If not, I don't know how to check if they designate tropical waves, Lucky. I think it's something on the NHC. But
I'm gonna try and find it.
they highlight tropical waves well before they highlight AOIs. Like well before.
Well, I mean, you could technically say that a tropical wave could be an AOI. Could, not all the time. Could be,
No, because we've
but
had like 7 tropical waves.
that's why I said not all the time. TRG.
We've only had like 1 AOI, no, 2 AOIs.
Let me guess. It came from a tropical wave.
No, they came from a freaking high pressure.
My point.
Tropical waves aren't always going to turn into AOIs.
That's I didn't say that. I said could, not
Yeah,
will
that's
always.
chances. Yeah. I'm going to look it up. Let's see. Tropical, maybe analysis. Found it. And they have 2 tropical waves denoted. There's the link. Well, shoot, that ain't even the link. That's just the freaking GIF.
Yeah.
There's the link. Here is the National Hurricane Center's analysis here. We're gonna zoom into the, let's see, Western Atlantic.
What is that?
So
I'm
there you
guessing
go.
the L's
They've
are probably.
already denoted 2 tropical waves.
Let's see what you're looking at, because you're looking at the same thing I am. Okay, yeah, okay. I did not see that in like with all this. I thought I was talking about the L's for some reason.
You can see the big bold letters tropical wave.
Well, I mean, I can now. Anyway, it
Okay.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I see it now. That's all that matters.
This
I
was
I
as
I
of
can
4
see right now.
p.m. today.
4 p.m.
Where the heck is the tropical wave in the Gulf? I don't see a tropical wave in the Gulf right now.
It doesn't say there is.
Yeah, there is. I'm looking right at it. Tropical wave in the Gulf.
That's not. Show me.
I see it on this one too. Wow, they have 3 tropical waves denoted. Look at that. 1, 2, 3.
I'm looking at your stream. Where does it say tropical wave?
Yeah, stream can see it.
In the Gulf?
Oh, did I say Gulf? My bad, Caribbean. Sorry.
I'm about to say
Sorry, I got to get
where.
used to it.
I'm about to say where.
Oh, I
So I'm
see it
looking at
now.
it.
It's on like it's on the northern coastline. If you look at the GFS, you see the low pressure over northern southern, what is this called? Northern Southern America. What the heck? Yeah. Northern South America. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Northern South America. On the GFS, there's a low pressure right to the west of where they have that tropical wave denoted at the moment. So the main tropical wave to watch is probably... is it all three of them? I wonder if it's all three of them. Let me look at the 12Z GFS.
I mean, yeah, the tropical wave that it's highlighting near the. That's not the Yucatan.
Yeah, we'll
'Cause
see if
it's
they
south
highlight
of
a
that.
tropical wave towards the Yucatan, because that's going to be where to watch. So we need to... This thing we really don't need to pay much attention to at the moment. It's really going to be these two and anything that can appear up towards the Yucatan. That's going to be what to keep an eye on.
What up, Chip?
Um, but yeah, the 18Z actually does a bit more of a realistic scenario, in my opinion, as opposed to the 12Z, which is that high pressure just strengthening and all we see is rain. As opposed to, you know, a hurricane forming.
Yeah.
Lucky thinks this will be a cat too.
Okay. Nah, I did not say that. Y'all do not believe him,
No, no, no,
please.
no. I think it will I think it'll get a highlighted
If it was going,
AOI, but I don't think it's gonna be like anything more than a 10%. I'd be surprised if it's greater than that.
yeah, we shall see though.
Monsoon
But
trough.
monsoon, I saw that too.
Yep.
Monsoon.
Okay, I need to switch all these things out. I have so many windows open. But we'll watch it. You know, that's just one deterministic model run. Like I said, you never want to listen to it. You really just want to watch the ensembles. That's your number one thing to keep an eye on. Your deterministic models are going to be switching on you left, right, and center. Right, Lucky?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And all three of our main ensembles pick up on it, so... I wonder how far out does the CMC go? Oh, look, the CMC has nothing. Shocker. Not surprised by that at all. Oh, actually, it does have something, Lucky. It's just not that notable. The heck, that almost hits you, Lucky.
What?
I think the CMC model is the NAM for hurricanes because it shows
Wait,
Lucky getting a rain from this
wait. Send me. What are you looking at again?
CMC.
CMC model.
Look at that. So it shows, like I said, a
Oh,
tropical wave in the Atlantic moving into the Gulf, and then it hits that tropical wave at the Yucatan, combines it, and pushes it right into
oh,
Florida, and like stalls it out over South Carolina for some reason. Jeez,
yeah. I'm not getting rain from that.
look at the rain totals on that.
Let me see.
That's like 20 inches of rain.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Talk about some flash flooding. It says I get around an inch of rain.
I wonder where the tropical system tracks. It's very, very difficult to see where it goes. Very difficult. Very difficult. That is something.
Yeah, that definitely is something.
I didn't look at the CMC. I didn't think it went far enough out. What about the icon? Oh wow. Oh my goodness. We actually have good agreement. So something's gonna form in the Caribbean and the Gulf. And by form I mean a low pressure. I don't mean a hurricane or a tropical storm.
Yeah.
Because that's like all your models are agreeing on that, except for whatever the heck Navgen gym is. I never heard of that thing before.
Never heard of them.
I've heard of JMA, but I mean,
Whoa.
I don't know what that's doing either.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, what is this? What is this? It agrees with the GFS on a tropical system. I think the more notable one may actually be towards June 20th, Lucky. Because that looks like more potential, but it's far out, so I mean, you can't really say much about it.
Yeah. I mean, either way, this is still at least a week out, so things will change. But they do note it. So
This upcoming one is like 4 days away. It's just it shouldn't form before that.
oh yeah. I'll be surprised.
I'd be surprised if we get a depression out of this, but we'll see. If we only follow the deterministic GFS model runs, we may get a tropical storm. But based on
Now,
everything
if
else,
we're going off of millibars, TRG, then yeah, what it says about the AOI or not AOI, but you know what I mean. I'm just gonna call it an AOI
tropical
just because.
wave. Just call it
Tropical wave, thank you. The tropical wave says it's gonna be a 991. What is that? Like a
991 is barely pushing tropical storm.
yeah,
That definitely isn't a
so
hurricane.
yeah, no. That'd be a weird pressure for a hurricane. Kind of crazy too. For 991 to be a hurricane would be.
I heard a dog.
I bet you're gonna keep hearing it.
I wonder. Hold on, I gotta see if the Nam has like a Cat 5 yet.
The name goes at what 84 hours,
No.
60.
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm just kidding. It goes at 84. Let me go over to. Oh shoot! Wait, maybe this is the wrong Nam. Yeah, you got to use the right Nam. You got to use the Nam 32 kilometer, whatever the heck that is. It shows it, but it's really barely anything. It's just a blob of rain in the Kerbin. Like that's it. Oh, you know why?
Why?
I don't know why the Nam, but it actually has like a high pressure just stalling in the Gulf for days. Which the GFS actually, the GFS has that too towards the beginning half, so the Nam just doesn't go out far enough.
Yep.
So I think we'll have to wait until we get closer to determine if this might actually be like a potential tropical depression. But like I said, at the moment, I'm not calling for anything more than very heavy rain and localized flash flooding. I think there's two main areas to watch: Louisiana, Texas, and as well as Florida. I think those are the
Yep.
two main areas to watch for tropical impacts and sense of rain. Because
I definitely agree with you. My bad. I
we
thought you were done.
we should see this go into the Caribbean like this and then into the Gulf. And it simply depends on if that high pressure stalls out towards Texas, leading it into Florida, or if the high pressure stays more towards the Carolinas, leading it out towards, well, Texas. So we'll see. Which way do high pressures spin again? Lucky.
Right.
They spin right, so
Because if you have a high pressure in the Atlantic, it's gonna spin the hurricane to the right, or track it to the right.
yeah. So if there was a high pressure over North Carolina, it'd spin it into Texas, and if there was a high pressure over Texas, it would spin it probably into southern Texas. They spin
Probably.
clockwise, so yeah, to the right. Biddy, it's currently, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. I'll have to pull up the analysis for you again. In my opinion, there's 2 main ones to watch, but there's currently 3.
Yeah,
Let me zoom it out a bit
definitely
more
those
for you.
two.
There you go. I'm trying to get it to, there we go. At least be zoomed in a bit more. So there's 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3. There's 3 tropical waves. What we're watching for is we're watching for a 4th wave to form over the Yucatan. This thing, I think, is just going to sit there. These 2 should combine, smack into the one that's sitting there, and then they should just all be a blob of rain. And once they hit the Yucatan, that's going to be your potential for strengthening, right? Once it hits the Gulf. And like I said, I think the worst case scenario out of this, we see a high end depression. I think that's like the worst case scenario. Maybe pushing a tropical storm, but I don't think so.
You know,
The most likely
I don't think
scenario
so.
is like a low pressure at like 1,002 millibars, bringing heavy rain to Florida or Texas.
Florida.
Florida. Yeah. All right, Lucky. I'll talk to you in a bit for sure.
All right.
I'm gonna keep going. I still have a few things I want to mention over and over again. So, I mean, unless you want me to quit now.
Who? Me? Want you? I
Yeah.
mean,
All right. I'm just gonna keep
it's up
going.
to you.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
So, yeah, if you guys haven't already, we finished the first portion of the stream, talked about the severe weather in the tropics. So, we're kind of gonna go through everything once again, slightly more in depth. But yeah, just make sure you guys have hit that like button, which pretty much all but 4 of you guys have. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share this channel with your family, friends, social media. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, hopefully you guys have had a great day so far. We're going to just go a bit more in depth to the severe weather here. So let me switch to the outlook. So for today, not expecting a whole lot at all. Tomorrow is the main day, in my opinion, to watch, which I said this a while ago. It's still, in my opinion, the main day to watch. And we could have a sneaky tornado threat out of it. Up here in Nebraska, Kansas. Let me just zoom it out because I know I haven't talked too much about this. So just heads up, make sure y'all are watching out towards Nebraska, Kansas. That's why I'm shocked we don't have a 15 sig hail out, because the HRRR has shown supercells in this general vicinity with very large hail. Keep in mind these should be elevated. Keyword should. Those would definitely most not be elevated on the northern side. Those would definitely not be elevated until they move into like northern Kansas. So that's where your tornado threat's going to come out of. I don't know if the NAM agrees with the HRRR. The NAM has those storms a bit more to the west, so that's actually pretty good agreement there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 5% tornado risk introduced. Unfortunately, I can't cover tomorrow. I'm taking the day off for tomorrow. Saturday, we'll definitely be talking about the threat for that tropical system, so we'll have another update on Saturday. And yeah, we'll just keep an eye out there in Nebraska, Kansas. This general vicinity here is where I'll be watching for tomorrow, as we could have quite the amount of hail, wind, and maybe even a couple weak tornadoes. I'm really going to wait till tomorrow to determine if we may have a conditional strong tornado threat, because I'd like to see the mesoanalysis and what the ingredients are. So, yeah, I'll wait for that. And then after that, in terms of severe weather potential, I don't see a whole lot. There's definitely a pattern that's setting up that could favor another MCS slider occurring. The time frame on that would probably be around this 15th-ish, right around there. I don't know exactly when. It'd be sometime between Thursday and Monday-ish, where we could have a potential severe weather event, but it's far out to the point where there's not a lot of certainty. All you see is a broad area of yellow. I like to look for the orange color here, but we should have a decent belt of flow along the northern side of the high pressure. with even the potential for a shortwave. So it should allow for at least um, a, a severe threat. I don't know how much of a notable threat it will be, but we'll watch generally this area for the potential of a severe weather threat. The reason why that area is so large is because we're far out. It may be on the northern side of this, where the high pressure builds in further to the south, allowing for the short wave to roll through up here. It may be further to this, even more far to the south towards, say, Oklahoma, where this model is painting it, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, as the main trough's up here, and then you get a little short wave that sneaks in towards Kansas and Oklahoma. So definitely want to keep an eye on it for sure. Not anything to worry about, but just something we want to keep an eye on, just in case we see a sneaky severe threat. That's your 12Z hurricane. Just classic GFS action right there. The 18Z GFS has has downtrended tremendously on the current tropical wave. The main reason for that, and I'll show you it here, is probably that stronger high pressure. I imagine we're going to look at this together because I don't know exactly why. So there's your tropical wave. It kind of just sits here, still sitting here. Oh, we're starting to move. We're starting to move, and we're really moving. That delays the potential tropical system till June 17th. June 17th. Which, according to the 12Z, it formed more on the 14th. So that's like a 3-day delay. That's got to be because of a high pressure or wind shear. That is not wind shear, dude. Let's go here. Alright, I want to look at the non-averages there. Yeah, the 18Z just has wind shear just sitting in the Gulf. The 12Z has that wind shear also staying there, but it breaks up rapidly because of a low that moves through the central U.S. Again, these are deterministic model runs, so they're going to change very frequently, which is why I said you really just want to pay attention to the ensembles. So here's your ensemble, 12Z. So all this rain, this is where we're watching for potential tropical activity, where this area is in purple. So that's where, like I said, Florida is probably the most likely area for tropical impacts here, but I still don't think we'll see anything like over the top. Really rain. Temperature is not an issue. Maybe on the immediate coastline, we might have a bit of an issue. Yeah, towards like the immediate coastline of Texas, immediate coastline of Florida, immediate coastline of the Yucatan Peninsula. And then, of course, along the entirety of the Carolinas. That's always an issue. The Carolinas seem to always be an issue for the immediate coastline sea surface temperatures till you get towards like September. So, but other than that, very favorable. Very favorable. But it's the temperatures aren't really something to watch, honestly. Like, those should be favorable throughout the entire season. It's mainly going to be that wind shear. And that is what should really begin to tamper off as we go towards whatchamacallit. As we go towards the La Nina phase. So here's the single deterministic GFS model run, which paints the highest tropical impacts in the Gulf going towards Texas, Louisiana. Which is almost a complete opposite as opposed to the ensembles, which showed more of this area here. So that's why I said generally we just want to watch. We just want to watch over here. Yeah, we really just want to watch this whole area. Just keep an eye on it. There's nothing that's like an imminent threat. Yeah, I did see that tour possible out there, Sam. I didn't see anything interesting with it. I don't know which one you're looking at there. That's an embedded area of circulation inside the precipitation, probably the hail core. So that's Well, based off the velocities, that is ramped up a lot, but that is right at the hail core. That's a cell merge, yeah. Yeah, you know what? That could easily start hooking. I'm gonna just... Should I let Lucky know or... Wait. How far is this? Let me look at the... analysis radar. Oh, wrong one. Um, it's very broad. It's not like a tornado is aiming it out here. It is tore possible, so just if you're in this area, keep an eye out. Make sure you're close to your safe spot. I'm gonna mention that to Lucky. Lucky. I hope I scared him.
Yep.
Did I scare you?
Nope.
Okay. If you use the Miami radar site, there may be a broad area rotation on the Tor Possible Severe in Florida. I just wanted to let you know. It's nothing that's like imminent tornado or anything, just a broad region of green and red.
Which radar?
Do you not know where Miami
Miami.
is?
But no, I know. I was just making sure it was Miami radar.
Yeah, it is.
I see that.
I just want to let you know
Ooh.
because we're not really looking there.
Yeah, no. I was looking at Texas.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, good night.
Alright. Good night. Sleep well.
I won't. So yeah, we'll probably conclude in like 14 minutes, honestly. Or not 14, rather 9. Just go 15 minutes over an hour. Just because I want to just talk about that severe potential a little bit more. And we were already approaching the end time by the time I saw that we were wrapping it up. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, hit that like button. We're going to conclude shortly. And there won't be anything tomorrow, unfortunately. No coverage whatsoever. So make sure you have other ways to receive watches warnings as well. And yeah, I'm trying to think of the other thing. Oh yeah, the next content, honestly, don't know when. Maybe Saturday. I'm thinking of doing an update Saturday, but I don't know. So just stay tuned to the community post, and I'll let y'all know when the next stream will be. Hopefully you guys stick around for hurricane season. As this is the first hurricane season that we've been through in a year. Well, I'm going to tell Lucky that too. Lucky. He's going to be very surprised by this.
Yes.
Did you know this is the first hurricane season we've had in about a year?
What?
Yeah. Did you know that?
Dude, you're just trying to make my brain hurt. That's it. Yes, I knew that. Because it only happens once a year.
Man. Also, I'm going to conclude in like 7 minutes.
I thought you were going to keep going.
I am.
Like, I thought you were going for like another hour.
And talk about what?
I don't know. You said you were going to keep going.
Yeah. Keep going past an hour.
Yeah, but usually you do it, hour and a half or 2 hours. That's what you usually do, but...
Briefings are 1 hour.
And when you said you were going to keep going, I thought you were going for like an hour and a half. That's what I thought.
I'm going for just 15 minutes shy of that, dude.
All right.
Woohoo.
I mean, I'm ending in 17 minutes.
Let me see the...
So not that long
Oh,
after
my
you.
word.
Let me guess, you went on mute.
I did.
Yep. Never mind. Bye, TRD's chat.
I wanted to look at the 13th. Oh. Lucky. The new GFS model has us in a notable tornado threat. I saw it off the Weather Prediction Center They're already forecasting thunderstorms for the 13th. And the new GFS model literally has a notable tornado threat. It's green on the ensembles. That's meh. Virginia Beach. That is... I mean, you're barely seeing anything. Like I said, storms are weakening. Probably just rain and lightning. Just keep an eye on it. So, yeah. That's going to be it. We're going to go ahead and start concluding, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much appreciated. We reached almost 1,000 people today with the word of that tropical wave. So thank you guys for spreading the stream, hitting that like button. And, yeah, this is just a live weather briefing. You know, these typically don't last but about an hour to 2 hours. That's the normal briefing. Pretty rare for us to go past that. Still going to keep an eye on that tropical wave. I will see you guys probably on Saturday. Just stay tuned to the community post, and I will update y'all there on if I change anything, which I don't plan on. I don't really know what I plan on doing, honestly. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I have no idea what I'm doing tonight. I guess I'll just wait for the 00Z GFS to render and then watch that. So, yeah, a massive shout out to the mods for Mod in Chat. Glad that I could do a quick briefing today. So, that is it. Just going to wait a couple more seconds until I can end the streams, start the music here. I guess whilst I do that, I'm just going to close all the radars in the background. I'm just going to close everything in the background whilst I wait for that to approach. Also, I've got to unmute. Oh my word, I don't know how long I've had Lucky muted. Hopefully not that long, but anyways, stay safe, watch severe weather, and I will see y'all in the next one, which I hope will be Saturday. So, yeah, I will see y'all later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, mods, for Mod in Chat. Stay safe, watch severe weather in the tropics. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.
See you later, brothers.
stay safe, watch severe weather in the tropics, and I'll see you guys in another live stream. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.